All right. Well, you see it right there. Zach Wilson actually played a very good game in the Week 14 win over the Houston Texans. And the Texans, well, they're ahead of the Jets in the playoff picture right now in terms of the wild card. And listen, I'm not saying that the Jets are going to the playoffs, but if they do win out, they improve their chances because now own the tiebreaker over the Texans, over the Broncos. So that's very good. Those two teams are ahead of them. And with the remaining 4 games on their schedule, if Zach Wilson plays well and the way that the defense have been playing all year, they might be able to win out. Who knows? But Zach Wilson has to play exactly how he did. 301 passing yards, the first 300-yard passing yard game by a Jets quarterback since Mike White in over 16 games. What else did he do? 2 touchdowns, something that the Jets have not done during their 5-game losing streak. Even a little bit before then, the offense has struggled to put the ball in the end zone, but Zach Wilson did it twice. He got Randall Cobb, a washed up Randall Cobb. He got him a touchdown reception. He got Breece Hall involved in the passing game as well. Breece Hall was all over. He had over 140 scrimmage yards on the day. The rushing game wasn't really working for him, but he got involved in the passing game. And then Garrett Wilson racked up over 100 receiving yards. And then Tyler Conklin, too, making big play after big play for the Jets. And that's what you want to see out of Zach Wilson. You want to see him throw to the running back, throw to the tight end, and get Garrett Wilson the ball. Get the ball into the playmaker's hands. The offensive line looked so much better, and that was because Zach Wilson got rid of the ball quickly. And if Zach Wilson does that in the next 4 weeks against the Miami Dolphins, that's going to be the tough one. That's going to be the tough one. If they win that one, then I think we got to start recognizing this Jets team as a real playoff contender with the rest of the way to go. If they win out, they need to win out to go to the playoffs. But they got the Washington Commanders who are struggling. The Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco has them at 8-5 right now. Listen, he threw over 300 yards in his last game too. He's got 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions so far for them. So it's going to be a tough one. They got a great defense just like the Jets. But like I said earlier, if Zach Wilson plays good and gets rid of the ball quickly, the offensive line plays that much better. And that's been the struggle all year for the Jets is the offensive line. We need the quarterback to get the ball into the receiver's hands. We also saw something that Nathaniel Hackett didn't do much earlier on in the season with Wilson. We saw a lot of motion plays. That's what Zach Wilson did very well with in BYU. And when he did, like earlier on in his career with the Jets and during his explosion games, such as the Chiefs, when players are in motion pre-snap, that's when Zach Wilson succeeds. So if we can get Nathaniel Hackett to call plays for Zach Wilson, I think maybe the Jets just might have a shot at winning out. But it starts with week 15 at Miami on the road. So it's going to be tough. They got one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in football. Tyreek Hill, he's a monster. Already 1,400 receiving, over 1,400 receiving yards on the year, 12 receiving touchdowns. He's up to historic numbers right now. But like I said, if Zach Wilson plays good, gets rid of the ball quickly, they play sound football. The defense would love that. You saw after that fumble, Quentin Williams go over to Zach Wilson. Hey, we got you. We got you. They let up 6 points yesterday, and they are 7 times this year. That defense has let up under 20 points. All they need is that offense to do their job. But week 16, Washington, week 17, Cleveland, and then week 18, New England. If they can win these next 3 games and set themselves up for a potential winning in against the New England Patriots, then who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's a dream for Jets fans. I really honestly do not think it's going to happen. But with all the rumors earlier on in the week that Zach Wilson was told that he's going to get traded in the offseason, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen now? These last 4 games for the Jets and Zach Wilson, I think it's a tryout for him to be the backup again next year. And honestly, if he plays like this the rest of the way, I wouldn't mind him being our backup quarterback heading into 2024. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think that the Jets have a chance at getting into the playoffs or am I crazy? And do you think that Zach Wilson has a shot at actually changing Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh's mind? And maybe they won't trade him this offseason, and maybe he does come back and watch Aaron Rodgers like he was supposed to do. They would have to pick up that fifth-year option, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, when they let him, they open up the playbook for Zach twice this year, against the Kansas City Chiefs and yesterday against Houston. And what did he do? He balled out. So let's see what they're going to do the rest of the way. I need to see more before I want Zach to come back as the backup. I still think as of today, going into next year, I want a better backup than Zach Wilson. But if he plays like that the remaining games of the season, I wouldn't mind him as my backup quarterback. Because God forbid the Jets do trade him and he goes somewhere else and becomes their franchise quarterback. Oh, that would hurt. But like I said, drop in the comments, do you think the Jets will go to the playoffs? And do you think Zach actually has a shot at coming back to the Jets in 2024?